All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Late Night Shots Podcast, episode 109. Today we got former Michigan State wrestler Jake Tucker. Blew up on TikTok a lot. I think it's a couple of wrestling videos a lot of people seen. You remade the Snickers ad, you played the whole slapback thing, and you had a couple more videos blow up. You're featured on House of Highlights, Sports Center, all the big sports pages. So, what are you up to?
So what's up, guys? Thank you again for having me on the show. Right now, just season ended probably a month ago, so don't have much to do with the whole TikTok stuff right now, but trying to stay busy, trying to get back on the mat a little bit, and just looking for jobs too.
Yeah. So before you get into it, Derek.
Oh, yeah. As all of you guys know, we have 3 sponsors. You can find all those links down below. And then I think there's a little bit of confusion with the Liquid IV one. You just shop right with the link, and that automatically will apply 25% off to your shopping. So just do that.
Yeah. So, the big thing is, you blew up a lot. I think you just hit 100,000 followers on TikTok. You make videos with the team. I think Chase Soldate kind of first started this, but your video is kind of blown up bigger. So what do you think kind of went into that?
Yeah, so I don't know, it was about a little over a year ago at the end of last season. I just started messing around with TikTok, and I had a few that blew up, and then the season ended. So then I thought, when I come back, I'll try to do some more. And then this season began. The preseason started. I got injured, so I tore my pec. I needed surgery, so my season was basically shot. So, I was like, well, if I'm going in every day to do therapy and recovery, may as well, just try to get some content for the TikTok page. And then it just really took off from there. And with Chase, Chase started for us this year again, and he didn't have the time or even the energy really to just put out content like that. And so he even told me, he was like, could I just use some of yours? And I was like, yeah, for sure. So I think it just helped promote the program in the best way.
Yeah. So, going back to what you say, pretty much losing your last season, what's kind of your mentality going forward? You kind of just have to show up, do rehab and stuff like that. And then you're just on the other end is it's kind of over. I'm just here to be here,
Right. Yeah. And that's really what it felt like. I was a pretty big part of the program, for years. And then, last year I had an okay season, and then I came back really, really looking forward to getting back out there and finishing off on a high note. And then, something like that happens, and it just kind of, reality hits you. And, I just kind of was like, okay, what, if I'm not wrestling, what is my role on this team? And I knew I had the capability of putting out a lot of good stuff on TikTok and just promoting the team the best I could. And that's really just what I put all my energy into for the entire season, from basically November all the way to March.
Yeah. Is this something you genuinely emphasize, hey, I want to grow this? I know this could be big, just putting a spotlight on us, or is just something you're just doing to kind of pastime, have fun, just because you can wrestle?
I was having a lot of fun with it, but I was totally invested. I had schedules. There are certain times that the engagement on TikTok is better than others, and I would specifically post on Thursdays at noon. Thursdays at noon is the best time, one of the best times to post, or Tuesdays at 9 a.m. I would make sure each video was ready. I made sure I had the right hashtags. I made sure I was, posting 4 or 5 times a week, something like that. Just because TikTok is pretty unforgiving. If you take a few days off, then it will be tough to just kind of get back.
Yeah, I know. I took a couple month break myself, and then I think I had maybe 60K followers at this point. I was like, hey, I'm going to push. I think it was 88K. I was getting 1,000 a day. They immediately just shut down. And I was like, you know what, maybe I'm not going to hit 100K on this, take a month off, then start off getting a couple hundred views a video with 88,000 followers. and now
Yeah.
it's just completely blown up. Like I'm just
Mhm.
looking at your page right now. It's like like I think it's structured, pretty good. You just most of it's just including the team. Just being a D1 athlete gives you that leg up on other people.
Yeah.
You have
And
creative
yeah,
videos.
it's funny because I was in, I posted probably 40 to 50 TikToks over the course of the season, and I was only in probably like 3 of them. And so like I'd post like a video of someone, and all the comments would be like you something like, or like, oh, like I don't know. They would always say like you, thinking that I was that person, and it was just like, yeah, explaining it to them like, yeah, that's not me, but I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, no, and I feel like one of the videos that did blow up was the Snickers ad. You guys redid the Snickers ad, and I want to
Yes.
say you guys kind of got a little bit of heat from that. Wasn't there? There was
Yeah,
a little bit negative that came out of that on the women's wrestling side, that it was a little iffy on your end.
yeah. I mean, I will say, just to address that, I mean, it wasn't a women's wrestler.
No, it
It was
wasn't. Yeah.
it was a cheerleader. So I mean, who do you think is going to do better in a match? Lane Mulch, or people that are actually D1 wrestlers, or a D1 cheerleader. That's really the biggest
Yeah.
point I was trying to emphasize,
Yeah.
and I don't think some people took it the wrong way, but actually Michigan State, they got a hold of me after that blew up, and they wanted me to take it down due to NIL violations and stuff, but they didn't really threaten me with anything. They just like asked me to take it down, so I just kept it up.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of weird because you think everybody hears Michigan State, and social media is nothing new for Michigan State. Obviously, they had one of the biggest social media influencers nowadays come out of there in
Mhm.
MMG, who I'm sure he has got to be known by Michigan State's like higher ups, like know that he's doing the same thing, because he
Yeah.
goes to all the football games and he does all the crazy stuff at the games, and so I feel like they can't really be angry about a minute-long TikTok video when he's putting out 14, 15-minute long videos on campus as well, and making way more money than you are off of your minute-long TikTok.
Right. Yeah. And I agree, but it all has to do with like the title of student athlete, and
Yeah.
that's can't really
He,
argue with it, I guess.
he never played football at Michigan State, right? Because I remember I used to watch like all his Madden mobile videos back in the day.
No, he didn't.
He was like, what's it, like a kicker in high school or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. MMG, is he's the guy who's really good at Madden, right?
Yeah.
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 I think he posts on YouTube like every day. It's like,
He gets millions and millions.
yeah, he has like this super dedicated fan base. And like, there's like this whole thing where like he'll get a new girlfriend like each year. And then there's just like memes going on Twitter about everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like that, like that's like the big storyline, because he'll just be like, "I'm sorry" on a video, and that's be like when he broke up with his girlfriend. And there's like, it happens every single year, pretty much the same exact month.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
past
really?
5 years, yeah.
I feel like a question everybody wants to know: do you guys genuinely play slapback when there's no cameras rolling, or is this just like we're gonna play slapback because he's gonna video it and put it on TikTok, or do you genuinely have fun playing slapback?
Yeah, that's actually like one of our warm-ups that we'll occasionally throw in there. I wouldn't say that we do it very often, but I'd say probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a season. Yeah, we'll start off practice with a little bit of slapback, and one of the second video I posted of it, I posted 2 of the actual gameplay. The second one, everyone was shirtless, which is, we normally don't do that, but we decided to ante up on that one. So
Yeah, I mean, it obviously has ever been a slapback fight. Like somebody got in a fight over a game of slapback. I feel like if that happened, if we played slapback on my college team, somebody would be fighting by the end of it.
yeah, see, I don't think there was ever a fight, just because really, I mean, right when that person slaps you, I mean, you have the opportunity to just do it right back to them. And if you aren't able to do it, then I don't know, you just kind of lost your chance.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess we'll kind of slide over a little bit here to your pretty darn impressive wrestling career as well. You're a lot more than just, I mean, a social media influencer. I mean, I'm just looking just basically on the Michigan State page here. And I mean, you racked up some massive win amounts number wise through your career. I mean, so just talk a little bit about that. I mean, kind of your athletic side at Michigan State, which was you were not just a slouch. You were a damn good wrestler.
Yeah, no, I think I did pretty well overall, especially in college. You know, I came in, I redshirted right away, and then I got into the lineup that following year, and then every year after that, I just got continually better and better and better. Um, my freshman year, I didn't qualify. Um, my sophomore year, I the day before Big Tens, I was ranked like 20 something in the country. I was projected to qualify, and then the day before, I tore my meniscus. It flipped, and it locked my knee, and I couldn't wrestle. And then my third year was the 2020 year when it got canceled, and that was probably my best year. That's probably when I peaked. I had a lot of good wins that year. Um, and then yeah, so I qualified, and then it got canceled. So and then I came back last year. Um, I bumped up to 65. Didn't have a very good season overall, but I still made it. I qualified, and I got it. So yeah, I was looking forward to this year, but it's the way things go. So
Yeah, I mean,
like,
you racked up 85 career wins, which is, I mean, that's pretty damn good. Wrestling at a Big Ten D1 school, 85 career wins. I mean, that's got to be pretty impressive for you. You took two trips to the big stage at NCAA's. I mean, you've done it all. I mean, you've kind of done what, I mean, a lot of guys never could succeed during their career as a D1 wrestler, making it to nationals. So what was that kind of like for you, making it there and wrestling at nationals with your team?
it was awesome. I mean, especially last year, I think we had 8 qualifiers, so I wasn't alone in terms of teammates. So and it was really cool. That was something that my dad always was dreaming about getting able to do, is watching me at nationals. And I finally got to do that, so I was happy for him, and he was happy for me. And I kind of got screwed on the draw, I think. I mean, I wasn't a very high seed, but I had Shane Griffith first round. So, and then he made that run. And yeah, he's a heck of a competitor. And then I won a match on the backside. And then the second match on the backside, I wrestled Whitlake from Oklahoma State, and he ended up getting 4th. So, I mean, I lost 2 matches there, but they were to the guy who won it and the guy who got 4th. But, I overall just a great experience. I thought it was really fun, and, I was hoping to be able to do it again this year. And, but yeah, I mean, after the injury this year, I kind of looked over my whole career, and, I'm at peace with it now. So that's really cool.
yeah. I mean, judging by what you're telling us, you've had it kind of rough. I don't think a lot of it's your fault. Just think if you wrestle this year, you get your chance to wrestle at Big Tens your sophomore year. I want to say you get 100 wins. It's a great milestone there.
Mm-hmm.
But again, there's nothing much you can really do at the end of the day. So if you
Right.
had to, what are your reflections on your your wrestling career in general? High school, college, before that.
Yeah. So I was actually thinking about tweeting this, but I wrestled for 20 years, and I wanted to kind of impart some wisdom and just my opinions. And a couple of them are, if I could go back, I wouldn't cut as much weight. I think that weight cutting is definitely an easy way for kids to just get burnt out. Not saying it's just unnecessary, but I think that sometimes it's taken a little too seriously. I think that I would go, if I could go back, I would focus more on freestyle and Greco, because I think it helps a lot with folk style. Let's see. I had a few more. I can't really remember that. But yeah, I just, when you're at this point, you look back and you don't have regrets, but you go back and think like, oh, I wish I would have done this differently. Another one is the jump from high school to college. it's not as big as people hype it up to be. I think it's all mental too. You come out of high school, and when I came out of high school, I thought, college wrestlers were just, gods, and I was becoming one, which doesn't make sense. I should have, went in with a different mentality. I mean, you look at a guy like Dean Hamidi, the freshman from Wisconsin. I mean, he was dismantling people this year, and he was a freshman. I think he was a true freshman.
He was, yeah.
Yeah,
He was 17.
Yeah, 17 years old. That kid's going out there and just manhandling kids, and that's what you have to do. I mean, you can't put college wrestling on a pedestal. When you make that transition, you need to go in with the right mindset, and you'll be successful.
Yeah, so I know we talked about you having, aspirations outside of college, now that you're about to graduate in a couple months. So, like, what are those?
So in a perfect world, I would just love to stay at Michigan State and continue doing social media stuff for them. But it's not that easy. I can't just our head coach can't just tell the athletic department like, hey, I want this kid as our social media guy. There's a lot more that goes into it than that. But I'm hoping to stick around the Lansing area, the East Lansing area up here in Michigan. My girlfriend has 2 more years here for grad school, so I'd like to stick around. So I'm looking for some social media, like marketing type stuff right now. And so, yeah.
Yeah, again, I think the jobs in social media in general are like grown exponentially at this point with everything kind of going digital. I've seen it firsthand. I picked up a couple of things myself, but is there anything in particular you're feeling like going into, or just social media in general, or do you want it to be like related to wrestling?
Oh, I'd love to stay with wrestling. I mean, I've been around it for 20 years. So, I mean, I know everything about the sport, really, especially folk style. I mean, I was always more of a folk style guy, so I know a lot about that. And being around high level wrestling for 6 years now, it's really, I mean, I think I'm well versed in that area. And but I mean, if it came down to it, I would definitely I'd love to stay in the sports realm. I think that would be ideal for me.
Yeah. So, adding on to that, like, what do you feel you need to do that? Are you just like gonna like try to get a job like one of these? I don't want to say big. There aren't even really any big companies in wrestling right now, but what do you think about you could just honestly, like, as a former Division I wrestler, national qualifier, you could in theory just start your own.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. I could. So I did. I'm doing a little work right now for Michigan Grappler.
Okay.
It's a news outlet up here in Michigan that covers high school and college wrestling. They put out some pretty good stuff, and so I worked for them this season, covering high school and college wrestling. So I think that kind of gave me a feel for what I would be doing and if I decided to stay in wrestling. But I talked to one of the alumni from the Michigan State wrestling program, and he works for UWW, and he was basically
Olenowski or
Olenowski.
Okay,
Yeah, and so he was telling me, there's not a whole lot of full-time jobs like in wrestling right now. So, he was kind of giving me some advice and basically just laying it out for me. So, but yeah, I mean, if the opportunity arises, I'd love to, work for one of those big ones, or just maybe do some stuff on the side.
Yeah. So, give me a couple years.
Yeah.
Might be able to hook you up, but
Yeah.
Derek, you can.
I'm always here.
It's the game plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we have some big things in the work. So hopefully in a couple of years you'll be getting a phone call from us when we're no longer some awkward 19-year-old kids and we're now some big businessmen. And,
hey, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it. Job in the wrestling world, because I mean that's the goal here. It's the goal with this. So I mean, just going back a little bit about your TikTok, I mean, what was that like for you? And I mean, you had to just kind of form just so much of a better bond with your teammates, just having fun, making the videos, just doing all that kind of crazy stuff, filming a Snickers ad and slap back and all the questions you asked before as they're all walking into practice. So what was that like for you? Just kind of, not being able to wrestle next to your teammates, but still being able to have such a good bond with them and being able to spend time with them.
Right. Yeah, totally. I think um I think that wrestling, if I would have wrestled this year, I think the bond would have been a little stronger, without a doubt. But I wasn't prepared to just walk away from the program, after I got injured. So I think that it really helped me mentally to stick around and try to, help this team as much as I could. And the guys on the team really, they talked to me about it. They were like, we love having you. They looked forward every day to like, what's the question today? Or like, what are you going to be filming today? And I think it really helped with kind of the morale, really, because I think I think that's a big part of it. You go into practice with a smile on your face, you're going to have a better day compared to, when, it's raining outside and you got a frown and you go into practice, you're just going to be pissed off. So,
Yeah. Was it something that ever crossed your mind? Just like, because, your season got pretty much just cut, if you kind of just walked away, nobody would have thought anything about it, say anything about it. Or was it just like, hey, I stayed with this team for this long, we're just going to finish it out?
yeah. And there was never a part of me that was like, well, I guess this is it. So I guess I'll see you guys later. It was never like that. I have such strong ties to this program. The coaches love me, that my teammates love me. And I felt hopeless. I felt helpless when that injury occurred. And so I was just like, what can I do? What can I do?
Yeah. So with 102,000 almost followers on TikTok, what's the future for that social media? Are you going to try to make it like, now that you're about to graduate, you're trying to turn it into like a full-time thing, you expand to all the other stuff, start making YouTube videos if you haven't already, that's a big thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that the TikTok, what's gonna happen with that? I mean, uh basically my thing was, I was only gonna post about Michigan State wrestling. That was like my motto, like my girlfriend would ask me sometimes to like, hey, can we do this TikTok trend and you can post that? I was like, no, I can't. I only post about Michigan State wrestling. So that was kind of like my motto. And now that that's over, I switched my bio to I post about wrestling. So if in the future I'm ever working for like a club, maybe, or like if I'm become like a high school coach, then maybe I can use that TikTok to just not only promote that program, but just the sport of wrestling in general. And in terms of, other stuff like videos, YouTube or whatever, I got into a little bit of Photoshop stuff like just recently, like maybe like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And I don't know, I just grinded on it, got pretty good. And I've been making edits for like everyone on the team. And now like I get people reaching out to me and they want me to make them an edit and stuff. So that's really fun. I've been enjoying that. So really, I guess I don't know right now, but I'm excited.
Yeah, what I've seen, I think Bo Bartlett does the same thing with the edits and all, I've tried
Yeah,
learning Photoshop.
I've seen a couple of bows. Yeah, he's got some good stuff.
Yeah, I think he's been doing them since he was at SEM. Like
Mhm.
it's been a while, Imagine if he just charges like $10 for each of them, Obviously does his friends for free.
Yeah.
That's probably like probably in the thousands, off of that.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially if you get your name out there enough and
Yeah.
enough people are hitting you up for sure.
Again with NIL only being implemented really your senior season, your last season,
Yeah.
there wasn't really much of a chance for you to capitalize. But now that you're out, you could definitely, I want to say, get a gig like going like these RTCs and stuff. You're a former Division I wrestler. I think you're probably qualified to go there. shoot some videos, make like these hype videos. You already have a name for yourself. You're not like one of these photographers out here getting like 10 likes, working their ass off and not getting anything.
Yeah, no, totally. I agree. And there's a guy in, I think it's Nebraska. Yeah, it's Nebraska because he's Jordan Burroughs like personal photographer. I don't want to.
Leve Ventura.
Yes, him.
Yeah.
He I reached out to him on Instagram and I was just like, hey, like how did you land this gig? Like this is what you've been doing. Looks awesome. Like he's at everything.
Yeah.
Just filming, getting, making like, promotional stuff like that. And
he's a full-time college student also.
Dude, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, how did you land this? And he's like, hey, he was like, I just, I was shooting stuff and JB liked my stuff. So he just brought me onto his team. And I was like, that's awesome. He was like, just try to get as much stuff out there as you can. And then people will notice.
Dude, like genuinely, like obviously you have the Tony Rotundos, who's been around since like 2005. You go to his photo library, which is the one I use. You can find stuff from the Beijing Olympics there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And everything's easily accessible, which is why I use it. And then you do this, dude, like he's running posts with Gable Steveson, having him comment stuff, RBY, getting with the wrestlers grind stuff, like obviously like that. If he wanted to do partner with me, like I'd probably let him. Like, dude works his ass off. I follow him on TikTok too, and then he's posting nonstop everywhere. Like that poster he made for like that Roots card, that's like
so cool.
It seems easy, but like that's like 200 elements on top of each other.
Oh yeah, I was looking at it. I was like, man, I can't imagine making something like this. It looks awesome.
Yeah, because you see the stuff that I post is literally just putting shapes on the thing and then typing letters.
Yeah,
and then people think it looks cool.
Yeah, man. That'll get the job done for sure.
I feel like it's kind of interesting because there's always like people underestimate how much you can make in social media. Like some of these guys get paid well in the 7 figures just for running Instagram pages.
Oh yeah,
for like decent sized companies, and you get paid for your skills. The more hands-on experience you have, the more you get paid. So like,
right, and it, I don't know, like I don't have much like professional experience in social media, but if employers were able to see what I did over the course of 4 months with a Michigan State wrestling team, then I think that would be easier to land a job. But I can't just be like, look at what I did on TikTok.
you could honestly, like,
you could, yeah,
because that's honestly what I do.
Yeah, I think if I put it the right way, I can't just be like, I ran this page, but I could say like I helped promote the Michigan State wrestling team.
I don't know. I genuinely think you can link that TikTok. You've had featured on Sports Center twice. I want to say like one of these like big pages twice with the slapback video and the whole Snickers commercial. Like,
yeah,
I feel like there's honestly a good chance that Snickers would have hit you up and then asked if they could use it as an ad. You would have made like $10,000 off that, something like that. But again, obviously you can't do that because you're in the whole wrestling room, which becomes a whole nother problem with a bunch of schools in the hell.
Actually, the ESPN reached out about the Snickers one, but they never ended up posting it. Probably just because the undertones or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, how does that work? Like your videos get on Sports Center, like at Michigan State. Like, how did they reach out to you about the slapback video, or was it just the Snickers one?
Yeah, it was just the Snickers because the slapback one, it never had any like brand in it or anything like that. It was just, look at what the Michigan State wrestling team is doing. The difference with the Snickers one, and this is on me, is at the very end I put that picture of like Snickers satisfies, and that's where I screwed up because that's a piece of media with both like brand, like a brand name, and the Michigan State logo.
Yeah.
Like imagine if they would have paid you for that, man. That's like the company is like companies that sponsor social media people. They would die for you to do that kind of stuff. Like Bang Energy, like Bang Energy would die for people to put as much work in for a video as you did for that Snickers video.
Yeah.
I think it comes to a point where it's like, if you follow House of Highlights, you've seen like the paid promotions they're doing lately, and they're not even like put effort into it. They're just like, obviously have like 35 million followers. They're just like 3 seconds at the end of the video with just how's the highlights and then their thing. They get paid about $100,000 for each of those posts from the company. So I think that kind of becomes a problem when you post the whole Snickers thing. It's like with the UFC too, one of those ad spots just on like literally like it would be like on the side of your shorts, say for a McGregor fight, because he's obviously the most popular dude, but that's probably like a couple 100,000. And that fight could very well end in like 2 minutes, and then you lose out on a lot of money,
Right.
Like,
yeah.
what's it called? Like the monster ad right in the middle is probably like in the 8 figures at least.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I didn't get much into like marketing and stuff. I majored in communications here at State.
Yeah.
And I did a little bit of marketing stuff, but I didn't do much of the advertising stuff. But I can only imagine just how much money that rakes in for not only the athletes, but the organizations like UFC and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think people don't realize because like you have a lot of like influencers getting scammed and stuff nowadays just for ads. Like if you have 100,000 followers, in theory, one of your ads is worth about $100.
Yeah.
Just like on your page. But then, I think one brand like the Coldest Water hit me up. They were like, if you post 10 videos for us with our product in it, we'll give you $15.
10 videos?
Yeah. And I just sent them back a laughing emoji.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
$15?
Yeah. Like it's a lot. Like you can see like these, I mean, now that you're obviously not an athlete anymore, you can do this. Like if you see these apps people are promoting, get like $2 a download. You just toss in your thing, put that in the caption when you do it. That's like an extra 10, $20. So I looked at your videos, like you haven't even posted that much. Like that's barely like 100 uploads.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I did a lot with what I had. I there were weeks where I would post, 4 or 5 times. And then there were some weeks where, I didn't have any content because like Christmas break or something, I went home and I only posted once or twice a week.
Yeah.
But it really helps when you have a video blow up. You got to strike when the iron's hot. You got to keep pumping out the content like right after, because it really helps.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all my content doesn't show up on your page, but I remember there was like a 3-day stretch where I was just like trying to grind it out. Posted 42 videos one day, 36 the next, and like 40 again the day after.
Holy cow.
And this I think was just random because like the thing is like my views didn't suffer because I was just posting back to back to back to back. Like
yeah.
Because I'm trying, my goal at that point, like you've checked out Social Blade before, I'm assuming.
Social Blade?
So it's like this, it's just a website. You can check like where you stand, like in uploads, engagement rate, and all that. It's definitely good if you want to get into social media full time. But I was trying to get the most ever uploads on TikTok because the most I think is like 80,000. There was one thing with like 500,000, but got banned for like bot posts because I think they farmed like a lot of money with 500,000 posts because it was posting like every minute, just nonstop, just like random posts that were just like pre-made and by a bot. I want to say they pulled in like $1 million off the creator fund, something like that.
Oh, I could totally see it.
Yeah.
I mean, especially just the way you can work it, like the algorithm.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, the right, if you have the right hashtags, you post it at the right time. Yeah. Make sure the video is kind of in that sweet spot between like 20 and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And even sometimes I would post like a Vine length TikTok, like 6 or 7 seconds. That's almost like cheating.
I think what I've been doing, because I'm like right ahead of you, I think, in followers, like just by a few thousand. I have almost 1,700 uploads.
Oh, wow.
And then I think what I've been doing is you find parts where they're just moving fast because that's what gets views. Like the whole Valencia thing's almost at 2 million views now, right? Literally what I did was just crop it as close as I could to the actual action. It's right there.
I'm going to go check that out right now, actually.
Yeah. I think it's like one of the most recent. Like if you check the pinned ones, there's probably like the most random video blowing up. It was like Mijan Lopez getting smacked at the 2011 World Championships.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember seeing this.
Yeah. Probably didn't blow up yet.
Oh yeah, him getting smacked. That's funny. Yeah, that Valencia one. So where did you get that video?
DPS breakdowns on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Does he also do that on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna
It's
say
like,
because I've
but the thing is, like, I don't feel bad taking these videos because, like, they're all just stolen from ESPN, and ESPN doesn't care. So,
right. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't the one who was
yeah,
recording that. But yeah, I remember because he posts a lot of good stuff
yeah,
on there. I saw one, I think it was this morning, of where you could, man, it's where the guy's in on a leg and he hooks it and then you like roll him through. It was what Joey McKenna
yeah,
was doing to Rutherford. And they showed a clip of it from NCAA's. It was super cool. I was like, dang, man, I wish I was still wrestling. I could work on this.
yeah. That's awesome. I've been taking a lot of his stuff recently. I think on average, again, like, except for the Valencia video, on average, they're getting like 30,000 views,
Mhm.
which is solid there. I've been, it's just a grind.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how this goes. Obviously everything's been growing good for us. You too. I hope you
Yeah.
stay.
I've been loving seeing your guys' stuff. I think I started following you back in like, I don't know, November, maybe.
Yeah,
But yeah. And at first I thought it was like just strictly about heavyweights.
it
And then I
Yeah,
was.
came,
that's what everybody says. Everybody's like, "Well, I'm not a heavyweight." I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you're not a heavyweight.
yeah,
Because
and yeah, it was just funny.
I remember when I first started this, it was the heavyweight memes, but I didn't spell weight right. I did WIEGHT, and I didn't even know
Okay.
until someone told me. I have this. It was just simply just roasting the living shit out of heavyweights and like these memetic memes. And I would spam
Yeah.
post like 10, 20 a day. I mean, I think most of them are deleted now. And then, around 9,000 followers, I changed to Heavyweight Nation. Still only posting about heavyweights. I came to the realization at that point, I'm like, because I just wanted to, yeah.
Here's the problem, right? This is what because when we started filming the podcast, the goal was to only do heavyweights. And then we sat here, we were like, well, we're gonna run out of heavyweights. There's not enough heavyweights.
Yeah. It's still a good name though.
Yeah. I
Even
mean,
for just like a basic, like just like a general wrestling thing, like heavyweight.
yeah,
Nation.
100%. Like, I feel like I turned into a whole brand. Like,
Yeah.
we're working on the website right now, hopefully that starts
Oh, you
bringing
guys
us
are getting, you got a website going up?
You can, are you on computer right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to check it on there, it's heavyweightnationblog.com.
I think it looks pretty sick.
Just got to import the logo, which I can't figure out how to do, but I haven't finished it, but I've
Oh yeah. Wow. Oh, you got the
yeah. There's a Michigan State page, I think.
Oh really?
I'm not sure what's on there because I just
this is laid out really nice. Wow, you got the weather up there too. Look at that.
Really. I think they just might have automatically added that. It's like
Oh, really?
$400 a month for me to keep that up too.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there is a Michigan State page.
Yeah, I think I did the whole Big Ten. It's like anything related to Michigan State page. I add the tag. It goes under that. It goes under Big Ten wrestling, D1 wrestling, and college wrestling also.
Yeah. Lucas Davison breaks out at the Michigan State Open. Yeah, you guys just had Lucas Davison on, didn't you?
Yeah.
A couple days ago.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he's
that was yesterday.
Yesterday morning at 10 o'clock.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a region boy. I grew up probably 30 minutes from him. We went to the same club. He's a really nice kid.
You're from Indiana, or?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he was really nice. He was a really nice guy. We haven't really had anybody that was bad. Like, come on, we've had our fair share of big name guys. We're not going to say any names, don't want to slander anybody, but big name guys agree to come on, and then we set a date, we set a time, and then they kind of just don't show up. But we really haven't had anybody come on here that was like rude or like obnoxious. We've had really good luck with everybody so far.
Well, I mean, I took the opportunity right away. I just knew because I love what you guys have been doing, and I knew it's good exposure for both.
Support has been insane by like the D1 level, because I mean, to be quite frank, we're both, well, I don't know what he's doing, but I wrestle at D2, I'm a D2 college wrestler. So, and I know he was a D2 college wrestler. He doesn't know what he's doing yet. If he's gonna wrestle next season or not. But
Oh man, we're dropping out.
like we could get D2 guys all day long if we wanted to. We could run up and down, but we don't have any D1. Like we don't know anybody for the D1 level. I'm sure like we know a couple guys from high school that were really good that we were friends with that are at the D1 level, but like we never were crazy. We didn't wrestle at Fargo or who's like we weren't at that level. So like for me reaching out to these guys and like getting responses from pretty much, I'd like to say 80, what do you think you kill? 85% of the people we reach out to, we get a response.
No, that's your job.
I'd say, yeah, I could comfortably say 85%.
That's pretty, yeah, that's good.
We reach out to. And I reach out for my private account because Mr. Akil over here cannot take, like, he can't take people saying no.
I've been left on delivered by Gable Stevenson way too many times.
Oh, yeah.
And it'll only be when I'm asking him about a podcast.
Like any other time we message him, he'll respond to him. But when it's about a podcast, he'll like sideswipe view it and then be like, I'm not open that.
Hey man, I mean, yeah, maybe that's just not his thing.
We wanted episode 100. Episode 100, the goal was to have Gable Stevenson. We failed. Miserably. But Don Bradley came and saved the day.
Oh, that's cool. There you go.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we've been growing. If we keep growing at this rate, there's no doubt in my mind that eventually this is going to be something we do for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, and I'm hoping for that too, because I'd love to see more stuff like wrestling coverage by wrestlers. I mean, I'm not going to name names here, but that there's organizations. There's organizations out there that I mean.
Actually, no, you can't say it. But
let's keep our
there's organizations
titles out of this, but
well, there's organizations that are just run by people.
They're just money hungry.
Yeah, and they never wrestled.
If we are talking about, we're talking about flow, but like I feel like it becomes a problem because like before wrestling was that popular, they had everything, right? And the Big Ten owns the rights to their own content. It's not like Flow can get the rights to that content. If the Big Ten wants, they can just be like, "F you, we're taking this. It's over."
Yep. That's what I'm saying. They could, like, if they really wanted to, Flow could get toasted. They already lost the EIWA. They don't have the Big Ten. So to be quite frank with you, what's left? The Big 12, the Pac-12, the MAC, and I want to say that's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the higher ups are going to look at that and say, okay, well, why are we losing
WA,
these conferences?
Because it brings in too much money for them to pay. And, if ESPN wants full rights over their thing, like ESPN could take a hit if they believe that in the future it'll grow enough, right? And like nobody in the wrestling industry can beat out ESPN. Like UWW is probably 100 times bigger than Flow, and even they're getting smoked by ESPN, right? The Big Ten becomes a tricky issue. Like you could, in theory, buy the rights or license their content, but for what?
Let's be honest.
A couple hundred thousand.
If ESPN really wanted to, ESPN could call right now, buy you, and it'd be done and over with, and it would be ESPN wrestling.
Man,
to be honest, they could do that right now.
That is true. It's almost scary to think about because I don't even know.
It's a multi-billion-dollar corporation, ESPN. Free to watch, or they make it whatever. Because I mean, Flow is just charging an arm and a leg to watch college wrestling, and half the athletes that they're charging you to watch aren't getting a penny of it, which I think is messed up. I think some of that money that they make should go back into the programs.
Now I got my own opinions on this. I mean,
you know how much money they're making a year? Like, imagine how much.
I don't think from like a pure business perspective, like I think what they're doing is fine, charging the whole yearly thing for the amount of content they produce. I just think what content they produce isn't applicable to everyone. Same thing goes with Rudis, because not everyone's watching these whole Kenny Monday documentaries, Dave Schultz, and all this.
Right.
But if you're saying they don't upload these like 10,000 pieces of content a year and have their whole library from 2011 you have access to for $150. But also from a business perspective, these cards they put on are like insanely expensive to do. Like they're taking a loss on pretty much every one of them, just in hopes of getting it back in the future and maybe making some like YouTube ad revenue there.
So you're talking about Brutus or Flow?
I'm talking like both of them. Like there's no way Rudis made a profit on that card.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, look at that venue was
Yeah.
like crazy, I think.
Yeah, and they
Yeah, and
got
all the
people.
people
You know how many
invited.
tickets?
Yeah, hey,
they give
shout
out
out
for
to
free?
Rudis for not inviting us to the card. I don't know why we didn't get an invite to go watch the Rudis card. We would have paid for the flights if you would have just gave us the ticket to go watch. You
I
know,
would not have, but
I would have. I would have bet at the Rudis card.
But I also think they kind of screwed up on that one. It's like I think we're the only like decently big again wrestling, platform that isn't 21. So
Right.
and with the whole thing being in a casino, I just think that's kind of counterintuitive because you have guys wrestling that are younger than me.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember seeing that it was just you had to be 21 to wrestle, or you had to be 21 to watch.
Yeah.
But you had Jesse Mendez and Swiderski wrestling. And they haven't even graduated high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it becomes a thing. It's like a lot of those tickets were given out for free. Like they're not charging what's his name, Fanco Wrestling, to go out there and watch that. Like that dude, like could make one post on Instagram about this. Probably his fan base is like obviously older. They're gonna spend more money on things he tells them to.
Yeah.
Like that. Like damn well they're not charging Gable Stevenson or any of the 7 Olympic gold medalists.
McKenna.
Yeah.
None of those guys got charged.
Yeah.
And they probably there's a good chance Gable got paid to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd look for a hand. I'd look for one of those too, like a little deal. Like, hey, if I come, take pictures.
Like honestly, you can get like probably a Michigan State like commentating thing.
Oh wait, me?
Yeah, for the duels. Like honestly, I know Gadsden does it for Ohio State. I know Olenowski does it because there's nothing really going on in the freestyle scene right now. He's probably making a lot more from BWW.
Olenowski does it for us right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll reach out. And I'm not much of a on the call kind of guy. Yeah. I don't think.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a skill to learn, though.
Yeah. I would say so. Yeah.
You don't think like Michigan State needs a videographer or a photographer or anything like that?
I definitely think they do. But like I said earlier, it's way more complicated than that.
I don't know. I feel like if your head coach made a couple 2-3 phone calls, that maybe you could get a little something cooking up for yourself.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, he could probably make those calls. It's just they're gonna look at resumes and and I was definitely behind the 8 ball in terms of like what I wanted to do because I mean a year ago I didn't know what I wanted to do, and now here I am with an idea, and I don't know. And you know what though, I'm happy where I am right now, and I think everything will work out.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, genuinely though, like the opportunities are probably limitless right now with how much wrestling's growing as a sport, which you have here, especially having Eric Wolanowski as a guy you talk to. That's definitely huge with him being in the Big Ten with the influence he has worldwide. I've talked to him a couple times.
He's a really cool dude, and if you follow him and stuff, you'll see like all the places he goes, and I think a lot of the connections are also just where like people I grew up with, like if I ever decide to start a club or like coach for high school, I'll have like connections like everywhere. So I think that'll help.
If you want to write about Michigan State, I got the platform for you. I'm just saying.
Hey, I got you. Seriously, I did some articles this year too for Michigan Grappler, so I'm a damn good writer. So,
hey, I mean, I think we should hop into our questions here.
Let's do it.
So you can go first. Go ahead.
I think this was a lot more different of an episode. Mostly talking about social media. I think honestly that's something I'm probably more interested in.
Now.
Because I've just been doing it for so long, just every day. It's a grind, but we'll just hop into wrestling more for a bit. So your top 3 favorite collegiate wrestlers of all time, none of them can be from Michigan State.
Oh, okay. Let me think. In no particular order.
Okay.
I'll throw Yanni in there. I really enjoy watching him wrestle.
They don't have to be current either.
Yeah, I got you. Ooh, man, favorite. I'm just a fan of the sport, I think. Holy cow, I've never actually thought about this. Alex Sertzis is up there. He was my club coach. I enjoyed watching him. He was kind of like a legend from the region, kind of like where I'm from. And then I'll also say Stefan Micic because he's a good friend of mine, and I enjoyed watching him wrestle as well. So
Interesting.
That's interesting. That's the first list that did not have David Taylor on it.
Yeah, everybody so far has said David Taylor. Every single person was a big deal.
Really? Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan that the fact that he won the Olympics and stuff. I'm not a fanboy though. So
Yeah, no, I feel like his style was just like he was like the poster boy of like NCAA for a while.
oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like Taylor's probably more entertaining to watch than Dake though in college, even though Dake just beat him straight up.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that totally.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just totally electric. And speaking of that team, I mean, Ed Ruth was really fun to watch.
Yeah,
Too.
was it Quentin Wright also?
Yeah,
Rutherford. That was insane.
Yeah, those runs they went on, geez.
I mean, you can't even deny like nowadays. I mean, nowadays Penn State is coming back to that kind of that Death Valley lineup from one you go one spot down and you're looking at 5 national champs. It's kind of a little bit intimidating.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, for the past the statistics, I can't even name them off right now, but the Penn State statistics are they're wild.
I'm telling you, like, all right, this is gonna be our last question. How much do you think Akil Sanderson is making a year? I think Brands has like $500K a year for contract, something like that, for reference.
Brand's only making $500K.
All right, wait, hold on. Just give me a hint. Is it more or less?
I don't know. It's not public, but I have my guess is about my guess is a little like 1.2 mil a year.
Really? There are two like ways to think about it. Do you think that the Iowa wrestling has more money than Penn State wrestling?
I think they do, but Kale's like what the undisputed GOAT of college wrestling.
Well, him and John Smith.
Not college, no.
Yeah,
he's the Bill Belichick of college wrestling for sure.
And who doesn't want to like results? Track records is in his like. This sounds like I'm hating on Iowa, which I used to be, but I think I've matured a little bit. But like they go there for the culture that Dan Gable set, right?
Yeah,
like they don't go there for the Brands culture.
Yeah, no, obviously like it's good, but like the only year they won was a super team with like 60 seniors. And then they couldn't put it together again because all just fell apart.
Because all the old men were hurt.
And then you also have to realize, Kale, look at his staff. It's him, another Olympic gold medalist of Varner. We all know Snyder's going to join that staff when he retires. So is Taylor. There's a good chance Dake joins.
Yeah, I mean, at what point are those guys going to say, okay, well, I don't want to be an assistant?
It's the best wrestling club.
They're getting money from donors like Taylor and Dake have their own training center too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. No, that's where I feel like that's where
like I feel like Kale's also like one of the more humble guys in an aspect. Like you're not lesser. Like Varner wasn't looked at as lesser than him because he was an assistant coach.
No.
Like he was looked at like another Olympic champion in there,
Same thing with Casey Cunningham. Cunningham is thought just as highly as they are, and especially Cunningham because he's the one that travels with them mostly. Yeah, Kale's not really a big traveler when they go, across the world. Kale's usually stay back with his family, and you usually see Casey with the couple of guys that are traveling. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to say at least $1.5 million he's making, at least.
Yeah, no, I could see one. I think you said earlier 1.2.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that sounds about right.
because I don't think he does any endorsement deals. If he did, that may be
Yeah,
a little crazy.
does he have a shoe anymore?
Yeah.
I think he does. I don't even know if it's on production.
Yeah, I think it is. I want to say it still is.
Well, then that's a decent amount of money. I
Yeah,
guess.
and he also, I don't think any of these coaches take seriousness to social media at all. Obviously,
Oh yeah, no.
but I
Doesn't
think
Varner? Varner is a shoe as well, right?
yeah, he does.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Snyder has his own shoe. Taylor has his own shoe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's already
Nichols
4 guys in
has
the
his
room.
own shoe. Gable has his own
Yeah,
shoe.
I don't know why Nick was. I think he's done wrestling too.
And I used to be super into the wrestling shoe
Yeah.
business in the game, but I got out of that. But yeah, that was a lot of fun following all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll ask my questions. These are a little bit more fun, a little bit not even close to wrestling. So, we plan on doing a lot of traveling these next couple of years. We go to Michigan State. We watch a duel. Where we got to go eat after the duel? Where's the hot spot to go? Where are we going to eat dinner after a duel meet?
If you're coming to East Lansing, I would say it's called Crunchies. It's kind of like just like bar food, just like flatbread pizzas, wings, burgers, like stuff like that. So and then cheap beer. So that'd be my recommendation.
Yeah.
For
And
legal
then,
purposes, that's a no on the last one. But
Well,
Oh
no,
yeah, no.
I made
Sorry.
sure I
You guys
worded
are
it.
drinking waters.
Yeah.
I made sure I worded it in a couple of years where we travel. So
There you go. Yeah, there
we're
you
both
go.
19, so a couple of years we will be of legal age to consume alcohol.
Yeah.
Sponsors, I promise, we no underage drinking going on. But last question, we asked this question to everybody. We've had some great responses. Yesterday we had Wyatt Hendrickson on, who, as everybody knows, is in the United States Air Force. So I want to think his super team he put together might be the most deadly. But if you could put together yourself and 4 of your teammates to survive the zombie apocalypse, who are the 4 and why?
Of Michigan State wrestling teammates?
Of Michigan State wrestling, yes, sir.
Okay. Let me think about this. I'm going with our former heavyweight, Christian Rebitaro. He went through kind of the similar thing that I had. He got injured this year. And then so that's my 1. My 2, I got to go with Cam Caffey, because I think in those he would thrive in a situation like that. I think he's a really calm and collected dude. So I think he would do really well in the zombie apocalypse. And then there's a kid on our team, Wyatt Cool. He's just an intense guy, and I think him in that setting would probably just work best. And then a 4th one. So
Yep,
one
more.
I'm gonna go with Lane Malcheski, because he's borderline crazy in terms of just like being competitive and stuff. So I don't think he could ever get murdered.
Does he have any more years?
Yeah, he has like 2, but I think he has 2 more.
Oh god, because I remember, what was it, when he pinned Poznansky?
Yeah,
the whole place went crazy.
Yeah, wow. And I think we had a really good dual season. We just gotta figure out how to get things done in March.
What was it like when what's it called? Caffey knocked off Max Dean.
So funny story, actually. I won't lie. That weekend, the Rutgers and Penn State duel, I was actually out of town. I was with some alumni. We were on like a weekend trip, and I actually I didn't get much crap from anyone except for Lane Malcheski. He came up to me and kind of gave me like a, you should have been there kind of thing, and I apologized to him. So I never missed a duel after that. So
I was really impressed with him. He only lost a 4-0 to Brooks too.
Yeah. Or I think it was it 4-0 or 3-0?
It was it was a takedown, riding time, and
something like
escape
that.
point.
He's super talented. Yeah, I think that's really the highlight of our team, is just we're super. Our potential is so high. We just gotta.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Well, I mean, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate you giving us your time to come on and let us, talk to you a little bit about everything, about your social media, about wrestling. It was great to talk to you. We hope to talk to you again someday.
Yeah, I hope as well. You guys got my information. I appreciate you having me on, and I love what you guys been doing.
Yeah, for sure. So, thank you for coming on. This has been episode 109 of Late Night Shots. See you guys again next time.